Hello there, beautiful, wonderful people. It is your girl Simone Nicole, back at it again with another video. And today's video is just going to be a quick little story time that I thought I'd share with you all. It is definitely a hair story time. If you saw the thumbnail, now before we get into today's video, we have to do our subscriber shout out of the day. And if you are new here, I pick a subscriber that comments on my videos and just remains extremely positive on my posts, and I shout them out for that positivity. Today's subscriber shout out of the day is going to go to Miss Alethea Wilbert. I know Alethea personally because we actually worked at said job that this story happened at. I don't think that she worked here during this incident, but she sure well might could have. So Alethea is extremely supportive. She is and was an esthetician. She's a small business owner. She's black. She does a lot. She's so sweet. She just had a baby girl. She's a new mom. She's goals, essentially. She comments on almost every single one of my YouTube videos, and in this video in particular, she commented on my updated natural hair favorites, and she said, "I love the Curls brand, but I'm obsessed with your eye look in this video. But duh, I always love your makeup." Thank you so much, Alethea, for always, today, yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that, being so supportive of me, not only on here, but also on my Instagram. If you would like to be my subscriber shout out of the day, then make sure that you are remaining active. Mention that you are subscribed to my channel. And with that being said, let's just jump right into today's video. So this particular story took place on January 2nd, 2016. Do you know how I know? Because I never delete the receipts, okay? Life lesson, never delete the receipts. This was when I was transitioning, so I decided to be natural a full year before that. So I've been letting my hair grow out, and at that time in my journey, I had decided that once a year I would have somebody do my hair, and I would have somebody straighten my hair to kind of do like a length check. And I hadn't really known who I wanted to do that with yet, because at the particular establishment that I worked at, we had a salon that was also inside of the building with stylists. And I am not saying that white stylists or stylists that aren't black don't know how to do black hair. If you've watched my natural hair journey video, then you saw that no one featured in that video that straightened my hair was black besides me. I don't think that you have to be black in order to do my hair. You just have to be educated on how to do curly hair. And it became very apparent that she was not educated on how to do natural hair moving forward, but at the time I did not know this. It was right before the new year started, and this woman started working in the salon. Let's call her Teresa. Teresa started working in the salon, and when she had her first day, I was like, "Hey, like, where are you going to be placed at?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm actually a stylist." And I was like, "Oh my god, are you?" Then I found out that she actually specialized in natural hair. She was going to be their texture stylist, or the texture specialist stylist, which is a literal position in this particular salon. So I was so excited because I was like, "Oh my god, that's perfect." And then in addition to that, because she was new, she had to do a bunch of different services without charging for it, because she needed what are called models for it. So she needed models for color, models for cut and blowout, models for all of that. And when you're a model, you don't have to pay. So she was telling me this, and I was like, "Oh, that's literally perfect, because I wanted to straighten my hair and I could just be your model for one of your blowouts." And she's like, "Okay, cool, good." So me and Teresa, we was chopping it up. She seemed real cool. I ended up booking with her and then coming in. At no point did she ever tell me that she had to book it, or that she had to tell me when I could come in, what particular type of service I had to have. At no point did that happen, which will become pertinent to the end of the story, okay? I come in for my appointment, and I was a little apprehensive about her having the products to do my hair. At the time, I wasn't as educated on hair overall, so I didn't understand that, especially when it comes to straightening hair, you don't really need particular products to straighten hair. To do curly hair, absolutely, but to straighten hair, with the type of hair that I have, you can get away with using brands that do not cater to any form of curly wavy hair. I knew that our salon in particular used Redken. I remember this was when I first went natural, so I was still using the Cream of Nature's, the Shea Moistures, all of that good stuff, the Cantus. So I brought in my Cream of Nature leave-in conditioner. If I can find it, then I'll pop it up on the screen. And it is important that you know which one it is, okay? Because it'll become important later in the story, okay? I bring that, and then I also brought my own personal leave-in conditioner, which was the Shea Moisture, the Black Jamaican Castor Oil one, the Guyana one. In my head, I thought like, oh, I'm getting my hair straightened, so I need like that extra deep penetrating moisture. So she's new. I don't really get my hair done in the salon, so I don't understand protocol. That's absolutely not protocol. You shouldn't allow a client, even if they work there, to bring in their own products to use unless you have a well-established relationship with someone. You should be able to work with what you have inside of the salon. So I brought those two things, and then I also brought my dimming brush because I was like, I don't think that she's gonna have the brushes to use on my hair. So now, where everything first started to go left, we get to the shampoo bowl. And you know, she's shampooing me, it's all good. You know, when you don't get your hair done, the shampoo part is like the most amazing thing to happen to you because it's someone else's hands in your hair and you don't have to sit and do it yourself. So good. At no point does she like actually start to detangle my hair from my memory. So she doesn't do that, and that's kind of like red flag number one for me. Then when it got time to put the deep conditioner in, she brought me out of the shampoo room and sat me down in her chair in her station. Now this place is not a place where black people get their hair done, because you know, when you're in a black salon, everything is everything. When people see people sitting around in bonnets, deep conditioning, doing this, doing that, they hair here, there, everywhere, it's not a big deal because all of us understand what our hair is like and what the process of getting our hair done is like. This woman had me in this very Caucasian salon, and she had my hair completely out. And keep in mind, my hair was transitioning, so it didn't look uniform at all when it was wet because I had all those relaxed ends, all the new growth. To someone that doesn't know black hair, it was a sight to see. And I know that it was because of the comments that I was getting from the people in the salon around me. Keep in mind, this is 2016. This is now 4 years later. White people have kind of gotten the idea, don't touch my freaking hair, don't comment on my hair, I'm not a zoo animal. But this was 4 years ago. I don't remember the particular comments that I was getting, but they were definitely along the lines of like,
oh my god, honey, your hair is just so wild.
More of the microaggressions. Nothing that was outlandishly racist, but a lot of microaggressions from the woman that was getting her hair done next to me, the little girl that was across from me. Stankest attitude. She was so rude. All of this was happening because this woman did not clip up my hair. My hair was literally all over the place, like dripping wet. I had a towel over my shoulders, but okay. Then she takes my deep conditioner and she has the jar and she's like, and like brings out the fattest scoop of deep conditioner, and then she just goes like this on top of my hair. If you have natural hair, then you know you need to part, baby. You need to get up in them sections. You need to finger detangle. No, none of that was happening. And so I'm just sitting there like, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to step on her toes. I don't want to do that. So I just let her do what she was going to do. And all the while, I'm so uncomfortable because all of these comments are being made toward me and I'm getting all these looks for having my natural hair out. And she proceeds to continue to glob this deep conditioner on to my hair. Then she puts a plastic cap over my head, and then I go underneath the dryer. So I'm sitting underneath the dryer. That all goes well. Then it's time to rinse. Now this is where I just knew I'm gonna have to start speaking up, huh? I understand the concept of a cold water rinse. I promise I understand it. I don't care for it personally, but in addition to that, I've had other stylists do cold water rinses, but they do it after they rinse out the conditioner super well. Now let me not get ahead of myself. So I sit down to the shampoo bowl and she is using lukewarm to cold water. And I'm like, don't you think that we should just use a little bit of hotter water? And I'm not a rude person at all. I said it in a very, very, very nice way. And she was like,
No, girl, like, You shouldn't do that because you want to make sure that you do a cool water rinse because it'll make the hair shinier and it'll help to close the hair cuticle down so for less damage,
blah, 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 blah. But in my head, I was just like, if I'm getting my hair straightened and I want the most bouncy, voluminous, soft results possible, I want barely anything on my hair. That was true for my relaxed hair, and now 5 years later being natural, it is still true for my full head of natural hair. I'm gonna have to disagree with baby on that one, and even back then I knew that. So I'm underneath that faucet for maximum 1 minute, in which she uses cool water to rinse out this heavy black castor oil deep conditioner off of my hair. So essentially she just left the deep conditioner in. We get up from the shampoo bowl. Again, no clips. What's a clip? What's a clip? I have a towel right here, and I come back so that I can be Betty and Jessica's sideshow freak show while I get my hair done, because they've just never seen anything like my hair before. You know, I lied. We did use one clip in which she halved my hair and then clipped it up on one side, which really just made it all the better, truly. A bunch of my coworkers have been coming back and forth back there and being like, oh, Teresa's doing your hair, huh? Bye. Like, not even like, oh, it looks good. Oh, things are going well. No. And then it started to become like, you still here? You still doing? I came into work and then did my shift, then now I'm leaving. What you still doing here? And it just, when I think that things aren't getting worse, she clips up half my hair and then she brings out a paddle brush. You heard that right, dear viewer. A freaking paddle brush, okay? Not the Denman brush that I brought for her to detangle my hair with, not her fingers, not a wide tooth comb. She sits here and she's paddling through my hair. If anybody has watched this video, if you have natural hair, and especially if you have transitioning hair, then you know that sitting there yanking through the hair is just not it. So I'm literally sitting there like, and in my head I'm just like, do you not see how not okay this is? I was 19 years old at this time. So I hadn't really developed a voice in order to say like what makes me uncomfortable, what's okay, what's not okay. I haven't really developed that sense yet. So I was trying to be very nice and very respectful because this is this woman's profession, but this is my head. I don't get headaches. I had the worst headache ever. And my brain is just being jostled all around, okay? And then I look down on the floor. You know, usually when you shed hair, it comes from the root because it's shedding. Breakage is tiny little pieces everywhere. You could have made a whole pixie cut wig out of the hair that was on the floor. A whole pixie cut could have been swept up with all the hair that was being yanked out of my head and put on to somebody for a wig unit. All of the hair that was coming off of my head was not from the root, okay? It was broken little pieces because she was breaking my hair off while she was yanking through it. She divided my hair into 4 sections to blow dry my hair. Oh my gosh. I skipped over the most important part. After we had just taken 2 minutes maximum to rinse out the Jamaican black castor oil out of my head, right? She then takes that leave-in conditioner that I mentioned, the Cream of Nature one, and she like a whole handful of it in her hands, right? And then she just starts rubbing it onto my hair. And again, I'm trying to speak up for myself, and I'm like, Teresa, I'm a little confused as to like why you're using so much. And keep in mind, she was as well a new natural. She had just cut off all her hair, so she wore her hair in a short little like curly afro. And she was like, oh
girl, you're a new natural. Natural hair needs all of this nourishment and all these nutrients and da 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 da.
And basically you don't know any better and shut your little mouth. Not in a mean way at all, but that's essentially what she was getting around to. She is globbing this leave-in onto my head. And I already know that my results are going to be trash because I haven't even reached up to feel my roots, and I can still feel that they're low-key wet, like they're not even like all the way dry yet. And then it got to a point where I was just like, does this woman know anything about natural hair? So I had started to like say stuff to her, and then it got to a point where I was low-key educating her on natural hair. But I thought that you were the stylist. So that's when I knew this might not be good, because I would say things like, do you usually finger detangle through clients' hair?
No, I just find that like brushing is just fine.
Okay. When you brush through people's hair, do you start from the root or do you start from the bottom and work your way up?
I usually just start from the top and then just calm down.
I'm slowly putting together, this woman has no idea what she's doing. They looked at a black woman, this company looked at a black woman, and they were like, oh, you can do black hair 100%. You're our texture stylist, let's go. So they hired her, and she really didn't have much knowledge on how to do natural hair. She probably knew had a concept of how to do hair, but she felt very like Teresa from Around the Block, if I'm being completely honest. I've got my hair done my whole life, and some black hairstylists are just heavy-handed as hell, and that's not what I want at the end of the day. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or not, I don't want my hair being done by someone that's heavy-handed and then has absolutely no idea what they're doing with my hair. That was the whole point of me coming to you. I just remember that she was straightening my hair, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't it. I'm actually sure that this is just not the tea. We finished. She blow dried my hair, straightened my hair, and
no.
just remember being turned around for the results. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go. This cannot be real. I'm expose myself to the world, and I'm gonna post my results, y'all, cause y'all need to see. I know y'all see what I do. I know y'all see what I see. It wasn't okay. It was not nice. I looked a mess. I looked dry, tired, frustrated, disappointed, worn down by life in general.
Truly, honestly,
it was really bad. Really bad. You could literally see where she had combed my hair, and the comb marks were still there because there was so much product on my hair, like I told her that there probably would be. But who am I? I really don't want to over exaggerate or under exaggerate the situation, because it was 4 years ago at this point, but I'm pretty sure I was there for about 2.5 to 4 hours. It was a very, very, very long time. Oh my God, I completely forgot that I used to get rinses back then. So I'm gonna give her some credit with the time thing. She ended up doing like a brown rinse, I think, on my hair, not permanent color. It was just like a rinse. So now it's time to leave. Mind you, I said leave, not pay, because this was supposed to be a free service. I go up to the front for her to print me my ticket, because no matter what, you have to have a ticket when you get a salon service. Even if it's comped, you have to get a ticket. She prints me my ticket, and my total is something crazy, like $100 or something like that. And I was like, who paying that? You pay, Jessica, you paying that? Because I wasn't paying it. Not me, not she, not her, not we. Nobody was paying it. Not for what I got, not from these pictures. You saw what I saw. You paying for that? All right, so she told me that, and I was like, I thought that this service was free. And she was like,
no, like if you wanted to do that, then you would have had to tell me, and then I would have told you what particular service to come in and get. I would have had to told you that and then scheduled you accordingly.
And I said, well, that's kind of crazy, because that was not made clear. I'm like, why didn't you say anything when I was booking the appointment? And she was like,
I just thought that you were booking the appointment because you wanted an appointment with me.
But we was here, I thought. I'm frustrated. I'm not a very confrontational person, so I go to my manager, and my manager at the time, he was so freaking cool, bro. But he was also very, 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 very by the book kind of guy. He was telling me like, look, I know that she said this to you. However, I would really, really advise you to be very careful about walking out of here with a free salon service, even if there was a misunderstanding. He said, I think that he himself had gotten into a lot of trouble for getting a haircut and then it being free, because it wasn't supposed to be free, and it was like this whole big thing, and he almost got fired for it. So he really didn't want that to happen to me. So I was standing in the office while he was looking up all of like the bylaws, the rules. He was calling other stores to see if they had ever been in this type of situation, because at the end of the day, the service was performed. It was a long time. She did a lot of work. She wanted to be compensated for said work. She didn't want to do all of that work for free, which is understandable. However, don't sell me magic beans when it's really a handful of pinto beans. Like, what's really good? So we ended up resolving, I remember, for me to get 50% off of a blowout, I believe, which ended up being like $20. And my manager rang me out and he asked me if I wanted to add a tip. And that was a really difficult question for me, because while I knew that she had spent all this time doing work and she had done all of the work that she did, I was not comfortable tipping her, because to me a tip says thank you so much for your hard work and your service. I didn't appreciate her work at all. I was in pain. I was hungry. I didn't feel very listened to. I didn't feel beautiful when I left. I just didn't think that she did a good job. Me as a server, if you don't want to tip me because I didn't do a good job, when I be forgetting to bring people's orders in, when I trip and might spill a little water on the table, those are my mistakes. So if you want to take money off of my tip for that, then fine. I understand it, because you don't get to just come into my restaurant, eat, have me running back and forth across the restaurant for you to get whatever you want, and then deciding not to tip me because you can't afford it. Well then, baby, you can't afford to eat out. And I'm so sorry about it, but I said what I said. I said what I said. So I understand her frustration, and I felt really bad when I put 0 tip on it. And I still kind of feel bad to this day, because that was her time. At the end of the day, it was her time. She was a new stylist, and it's not like she was booked and busy. But at the end of the day, I did use her time, and if I could go back, I would tip her at least a little something. But I was also in college, and I was very broke. That's why I wanted a free service, because I ain't had no money. She ended up actually texting me once I got home. I looked at my phone to see if I still had the receipts for that, but I did not. I deleted those. Bad Simone. It was basically a very, very, very long message about how she apologized for everything that happened, and if I felt any type of way, and I forget what it was, but it was definitely her apologizing and her reiterating like she would have liked to be paid for her work, I believe. But again, it wasn't in a mean way. She was actually a very, very, very sweet woman. I just didn't like her work. By the time she left the company, I had been told repeatedly that she had gotten a lot better at her job, because I was not the only one that was saying that I did not like her work. I remember I didn't respond to that message because, again, I was allergic to confrontation at the time. But I ended up having to come home, wash out everything that she did, and I did my hair myself. And I will insert the pictures from that. And some of the pictures I do have in clip-ins, because I loved me a clip-in back in the 2016. So basically, I wasted my time and I wasted her time. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. I do have more story times about various things in my life. A whole list of them, actually. I haven't lived a super crazy life, but things that happened are funny to me, and I would not mind sharing them on the internet. I'm not a messy individual though, but it is some stuff that's funny, child. Thumbs up this video if you would like more story times from me, and if you have any other content ideas that you would like me to do concerning natural hair, concerning lifestyle things, whatever you might want, baby, make sure that you drop them down below, you comment, you share this video if you care, and I will definitely catch you all in the next video. Remember to keep positivity in your life, because positivity breeds positivity, and we have absolutely no time for negativity in 2020. Stay safe. If you're not going to stay inside, then be safe on the outside world now that we're allowed back out. And I will see you all in the next video, which is always on either side of me. You want to see the back of me? I know you like that 360. I know you like these waves. I'm actually going to submit myself to top wavers, because I'm wavier than a lot of you young men out here. And that's on period. On swim.